ride to the beat with my hopes and my dreams like a boat in the sea. Let it ride from the west to the east. Be the best you can be. Let the rest in peace while I try.
What's goody fam? You already know who it is. It's ShakaShine, and I'm coming back at it with another reaction on ShakaShine Reacts. Today, I gotta give a big old shout out to Travis. Their request was Larry Bird, and this is the greatest stories told by NBA players, you know what I'm saying, and legends. Now, for the people that have been hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that comment button, you know me, it's a channel of giving credit when credit's due. And y'all deserve all the credit, so I gotta say thank you. I really appreciate every single one of y'all. I say it every video because I cannot stress that out enough. Thank you. Now, with that being said, some of y'all still sleeping on my music. I make music and I got a song out every single Friday of 2021. If you want to check out my music, links right underneath the like button. For the people that are waiting on their requests, as you can see, we're getting to every single one of y'all. If I set it on the list, it's on the list and it's coming up. But you can always skip the line by hitting me with a donation. Again, links right underneath the like button, and I'll make sure I get your reaction out within 72 hours. Now, as far as Larry Bird goes, we've had a couple of Larry Bird reactions so far. I knew he was good when I started this. I did not understand how good he was at all. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was good, but yeah, I've been missing out on things. So I assume that this is going to be another good Larry Bird, some more information about Larry Bird that we're going to learn. So if this is your first time seeing one of my Larry Bird reactions, make sure you check out the playlist. We have quite a bit of Larry Bird reactions. That's in the sports playlist. So if you want to check that out. And if you're coming back for another Larry Bird reaction, let's get straight to it. I'm not going to hold y'all.
Stories.
Oh, let's go back.
Welcome to the complete collection of Larry Bird's greatest stories. The first episode of this series was an episode on
Again, rest in peace, Kobe. Super sad.
Kobe Bryant, the complete collection of Kobe Bryant's greatest stories. If you haven't seen it or you did miss the upload, feel free to watch it on the
And do you guys want me to check out the Kobe version of the same thing? Let me know. Put it in the comments and we might get to it. So let me know.
channel. But the amount of support on that video was incredible, and I really just want to thank all of you guys for that support. Kobe was someone who meant a lot to me, as he did for I'm sure all of you guys too, and hopefully that video did him justice. Today we're looking at Larry.
He just said, I will bet $500,000 that I'm about to make this. We might have to watch that Kobe one. Yeah, we might have to watch that.
Bird's greatest stories. And because these videos take such a long time to make, the only thing that I ask is that if you enjoy this video, you can please hit that like button. Subscribe if you do enjoy the videos, because it does help my channel.
Same thing with me, you know what I'm saying? If you're enjoying this, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. But also, you know me, this is a channel of giving credit when credit's due. So if you're really messing with this, I will have the link to this video in the description. Go show him some love too. Only if you're messing with it. I'm not trying to make anybody do anything, but if you are really messing with this, you think this is good, and if you give a like to my video, please go down to his video and give him some love.
Out, and also comment down below who would you like to see for episode 3. We've done Kobe, this is Larry Bird, which player should I do next? Without further ado, welcome to the complete collection of Larry Bird's.
Also, let me shout his name out again, credit when credit's due. This is Nick Smith, just so you guys know, who made the video. So let's keep it pushing.
Greatest stories.
Well, you had the Bird night.
I had the
in
Bird
New
night.
Orleans.
Yeah, that was a tough night, man.
And he would tell you to play and catch it over there and shoot it.
Larry Bird, he was not a nice guy.
He talked to everybody. He was talking trash all the time, man. But fun.
And they called a timeout, and he turned around and looked at me and said, I'm going to score right here on you.
And he came back out and hit about 10 in a row on me.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, number one is, we all know this, Larry Bird, he talks that mess, but he can back it up. Gotta love it. Let's keep it pushing.
And the last one was left-handed, and
Excuse me.
he asked me if my mother was watching.
It just came out.
And we never shook hands for 13 years.
Let's go. Larry Bird, baby.
Well, you had the Bird night.
I had the
in
Bird
New
night.
Orleans.
That was a tough night, man. The biggest argument that night is, well, you only scored 6 on me.
But nobody was guarding Bird, were they?
Well, we were trying.
You were trying to.
Yeah, but when a guy is literally coming up the court, calling his shots, and Bird talked a lot of trash.
And that's in New Orleans.
That's in New Orleans.
You were playing the Hawks, and it was one of those times they were playing some home games down in New Orleans.
In New Orleans, I'll never forget that game. He was so hot, he started shooting threes with his left hand.
And come on now. Let's see people today do that. For real.
It was in a neutral site, and I know that Larry was always telling the ball boys, hey, go find out the scoring record. As he was getting taped on the tape table, he would always say, hey, go find out the scoring record in this gym.
Going into that game, I thought there might be a ray of sunshine because one of the bellmen told me that he had heard that Larry and a couple of his teammates may have gotten in a little bit late the night before. So I was saying, hey, maybe Larry won't have a real good night.
Bird, the bomb. Bird, the
Larry's always going to have a good night. Come on now.
ball away. Bird out of the left corner. The bomb is good.
To say that Larry had a hot hand is an understatement without question.
He was calling shots off the glass. Who's next? Where you want this one from? And he just made one after another. When he got to about the 55th point, you knew it was something special. Even as a player, that usually doesn't happen, but we were down so much at the time, you had time to realize the game.
We're on the free throw line, and he literally says, left side, across the 3, and you're listening to him. That's a tough feeling.
That was the one game that I think he tortured Dominique.
Excuse me.
He saw Dominique is up and coming.
Them side threes, man, for some reason, Bird had them down. Like, down.
Player. And he just tortured them.
Just ripped.
That game. He tortured all of them.
I mean, it was mind-blowing.
I think Bird went by the bench one time, too.
He fell in the bench.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, and he called that one. That was the one where he fell in it. He literally said, off the glass into the trainer. And, yeah, and so it was a bad night.
Not bad.
And it's going to be awful decent. Then he said, who wants it? And I think Ricky Brown, I'm not for sure who it was, ran out after him. And he shot this high rainbow. It goes in. Ricky bumps into him and accidentally knocks him on our trainer's lap. So it was exactly what he said.
Antoine Carr and Cliff Levingston got fined by Fratello, I think.
And Eddie Johnson for celebrating.
Celebrating Bird.
Yeah, it was the best film session. Every time when I see Mike, we still laugh.
God,
it was
so good.
It was the greatest film session ever because back then you didn't.
They're just like, no, oh my gosh, they're killing it. Come on.
You watched the real game and just went, with a video, and Mike rewound the celebration 20 times.
Dang.
He just kept not the shot. He just kept rewinding it, showing the guys. You remember they're giving each other high five.
And then somebody falls off the bench.
Yeah,
too.
that was Eddie Johnson.
Yeah.
Eddie Johnson falls off the bench in laughter.
I mean, everybody was entertained by this. Even
That's one
the guys
on
on the guys on the Atlanta
They
bench.
got fined for that, I heard.
Yeah. Watch this. Watch the reactions on the Atlanta bench. You see Scotty Hastings put them.
Yeah, when you get.
Now watch Cliff.
I don't know if they should have been fined for that. That doesn't really make sense. Getting fined because you over here watching an amazing player play amazingly. You know what I'm saying? But to each their own.
Livingston, come on over here. I think this is Cliff.
And our film session was 20 minutes of that.
Larry, put on a show that night. And I mean, just to get the whole Atlanta bench going crazy on some of the shots that he was making down the stretch is a pretty good indication. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before.
And we never shook hands for 13 years.
You at the three-point competition, walking in the locker room, who's playing? Did you really say that? Who's playing for second?
Yeah, I did. I scored so bad.
Yeah, when you walked in and asked who was going to get second place in the three-point contest, when you walked in there, what were you thinking when you made that announcement to the room? Just messing with all those guys like you always did with everybody?
I didn't. I had no clue. I never really practiced. Me and Danny used to shoot some before we went out there. Everybody.
He said I really didn't practice. That means that he's just good. Period. That's just all it is. He's just so good. Like, I don't even practice. Well, obviously he had practice, but I think he just went to such a high pinnacle that it just became almost muscle memory, just natural for him,
Sitting there, everybody's real quiet. You really didn't. You knew the guys, but you never were around them.
Three-point contest at the All-Star break. And Larry walks in and says, I hope all you guys in here are thinking about second place because I'm winning this. Excuse me?
Who were some of the guys in the competition at that time when you walked in? Who was in that field? Come on, Coach, you know.
No, I don't really remember.
Dell Ellis.
Yeah, Dell. What's
Hodges.
The kid that's Hodges.
Leon Wood.
And I'm sitting there with one of my teammates, Leon Wood. It was a great three-point shooter. Larry comes in last.
And nobody's really saying anything, so I walk in and look around, and it just came out.
He says,
"Who's coming in second? You already know who's going to win this."
It was so quiet, and after that, I said, "Oh man, these guys ain't got no chance."
I got lucky because I almost got beat in the first round.
But what was the reaction after you said that? Like, oh, that's just Larry Legend, or did it get dead silence in there?
It was silence. I think
that's because people knew what was up.
We're a little nervous.
I like it.
I think they were nervous.
I had no clue I was going to win it, but that's just part of the competition.
You see Larry finishing off. Look at that smooth rhythm. The shot, one step back, pick it up, the shot. Back and forth. He is like a machine, and the results are almost like a machine.
Jeez.
He ain't took off his top yet. We'll see when he took off his top. I tell you, it's hard to shoot out the bird just made 23.
Right? Legends from legends, like, come on.
And then the walk off with your hand up. I mean, come on, Coach. Come on.
Well, I
was
struggling in that final round in Chicago.
He already knew it. As soon as he let that go, he was like, yeah, it's over. I mean, he kind of had his head in the game, period. So he already kind of felt like he was going to win at the beginning of it. But yeah, right when that left his fingers, it was a done deal. He knew it.
I know that. And I just got hot there the last.
See? Let me go back.
I was struggling in that final round in Chicago. I know that. And I just got hot there the last 2.5 racks. When you're shooting them, you don't know what the score is.
Right.
But I had a feeling by the way the crowd was going, I had to make the last one. And when I let it go, I felt it. Sometimes you shoot them, you think they're going in, they don't. But that one there looked perfect all the way. So
exactly.
If it would have bounced out, I would have felt like an idiot.
Well,
but it went in. I got lucky and got the check and went home.
Larry Bird at the buzzer with the two-point ball. 17-15 defends the long-distance shootout crowd at Chicago Stadium.
Let's go.
He and Ainge, I think, were both in the three-point contest together, and Larry won the contest. And then one day we got on the bus, and we were on the bus for a few minutes, and Larry said to Ainge, he goes, "Hey, Danny," and Danny goes, "Yeah, Larry." He goes, "Who's the three-point king?"
Larry Bird, he was not a nice guy.
Back then when we flew commercial, we didn't fly private. We played.
I think that he probably was a nice guy. Just because you talk smack doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad guy by any means. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all in the fun of sports. Because I'm gonna be real, like I skateboarded. I used to be sponsored. I would talk crap all the time before a competition. You know what I'm saying? Same thing when it came to when I was playing football. You talk. You know what I'm saying? You try to get into people's heads. It is what it is. Plus, I personally thought that at the time when the football, in my personal opinion, I was killing it. Especially compared to the other teams. We won state. You know what I'm saying? So we just kind of had, you just kind of have feelings, you know what I mean? And talking crap, though, that's just part of it. So I'm not really sure that really is the fact that he's not a nice person.
In a Tuesday night game in Cleveland.
Matter of fact, there was one game in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, and he told me where he was going and where he was going to shoot.
Nah, I won't hear about it.
Okay.
I won't hear about it.
It was 91-92 season, and we was playing the Boston Celtics. It was Bird, McHale, Parrish, the great three, Ainge, and we was up 1. Okay.
Where he was having a pretty rough first half, and in the old days in Cleveland, you walked off the court the same way at halftime, and I kind of puffed up on him and walked beside him and was like, "Yeah, you're 1 for 10." I was like, "That's defense, you know." And he just kind of looked at me and said, "There's 2 halves." And he came back out and hit about 10 in a row on me.
And we was up 1. Okay. He said, "Who's guarding me?" As we come out of timeout. Now remember, I'm a rookie because Price is out because he hurt.
Right.
He says, "Who's guarding me?" I says, "Craig Elo." He says, "Why you got that white boy on me?"
Like what?
Don't put no white boy on me.
He said that was the most.
Now remember, Larry Bird is white.
Right.
And the last one was left-handed, and he asked me if my mother was watching.
That's so cold.
I think the story that sums up Larry the best was we had a game on Wednesday night in New Jersey. Snowstorm hits Cleveland. We're at the airport at 7 in the morning. Flight's canceled at 7. It's canceled at 8. It's canceled at 9. It's canceled at 10. Canceled at 11, 12. We finally leave about 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon. We fly up to New Jersey. Now the storm has kind of moved into Jersey. And the bus driver says, "Well, I can't get to the hotel into the arena. I can only go to one place." Well, we had a game that night. We go to the arena. So we get to the arena, and I mean, we're dragging. And we're sitting around the locker room, and, and everybody's kind of, we're tired, and,
Yeah, I bet. You know what I'm saying? Everyone thinks, that's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand, is people think that it would be so fun to be a basketball player, but don't really realize what it takes. You be going from one basketball game, changing, getting on the bus, getting to the airport to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, they have a lot of times, a lot of people fly private now. But back in the day, it was commercial. So it's stressful. It would be a stressful life for sure.
And all of a sudden, the coach gives a little bit of a speech of, "Come on, man, guys, we're playing basketball. Let's get ready to go." And Larry stands up, and Larry says a couple other few choice words, and he says, "I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to take it out on their rear ends." So I was like, "Oh, all right, so let's go." So we go on the floor. Elbert King sitting there. Larry walks up to Elbert King and goes, "Don't take this butt whooping personally. I've been eating hot dogs all day." And then Elbert King looks at him like, "You've been eating hot dogs all day? What's that got to do with me?" And we went out and just hammered him. I mean, we terrorized them. And that was Larry. There was no excuses. I mean, he just played. And I tell you, that was just his competitive nature. But a day when you fly all day and eat hot dogs in the airport, best thing was Elbert's look on his face like, "What hot dogs got to do with me?"
I still love the Xavier McDaniel story.
Anybody better than Larry Bird?
No, Larry's probably the best trash talker. And the best thing about Larry now, he's so buttoned down now. He's just like, "I didn't do that." Man, that guy lies. He was the best trash talker. He lies everything.
Can you tell a Larry story? I haven't heard much of him, any stories about him talking trash, and he's so quiet.
Yes.
Just every other time, and I never got to play on the court or see. But can you tell a story like something you
I'd say
remember?
there's a million of them, but one of my favorite ones is we're playing Phoenix, and we're way ahead, okay?
The Celtics were playing the Suns,
And we're down in the old Saddle Dome that they had outside.
Right.
And Larry, we're playing good as a team. Larry has the worst fourth quarter known to man. I mean, he's throwing the ball to the other team. I'm like, good Lord, we had like a 15-point lead. Next thing you know, we're down 2. And I'm like, how in the world are we going to lose this game, man?
So we have a play.
Hey, this is what I want to hear about. I guarantee you, going to get turned around and a lot of trash talking.
Out of bounds play, I'm taking it out, and Larry says, "I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a 3." And I'm like...
And Larry says, "I'm going to bust the play. I'm going to shoot a 3. And I'm like, "Bertie,
Let's just get into overtime. I'll go with Robert. Robert, we need to get into overtime, man. Try to get this ship right because we're sinking, man. I tell you right now.
Celtics are down by 2 points. And Bird is out by the 3-point line, and he's being guarded by a guy named Johnny High. And Johnny High is sort of backing away from Bird. And Bird said, hey, Johnny, you better come up and guard me a little closer. I'm just going to get the ball and shoot a 3, and game's over.
Larry Bryant tells me that he wants.
Straight trying to help him, like, hey, you don't know who you're guarding? Hey, dog, come a little closer, because you're about to get embarrassed if you don't. Like,
by the bench, it says, typical Bird, he's just real slow.
So he tells the Phoenix bench, tells the coaches, yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a 3 on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this.
Fixing to bust a 3 on your guys and go home.
And, Johnny High sort of smiles and laughs about it.
And so he breaks the play.
And then the ball comes into Bird. He just turns around and shoots a perfect 3.
Shoots the ball. As the ball's
Got
in
him.
the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, told you so. He's off running to the locker room.
Larry hits it. He looks at the bench and goes, told you so.
Unreal, man.
As he's walking off, he puts an arm on Johnny High's shoulder and he goes, Johnny, I told you to come out and guard me.
That was Birdie. And he had the confidence. Man, that dude had so much confidence.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you see that button? Hey, you should hit that.
The coaches, he talked to everybody. He was talking trash all the time, man. But fun. Great competitor, man.
And I just started laughing. I was like, oh, man. It's just one of those ones where you just kind of, he has such supreme confidence. And it was just, but
clean.
That's the one when you were back in and Larry went in and said, well, I won the game in the first 3 quarters, then I lost it in the fourth quarter, Then I won it at the end. He goes, my record tonight is 2-1. We all just kind of laughed.
Bird used to tell people, I remember he told me a story about Xavier McDaniel. He said,
the X-Man,
X, I'm going to get the ball right here. I'm going to jumper right in your face.
It was a tie game. They had the ball, and DJ was...
For how much, man... How many times does he have to tell somebody what he's about to do and people just kind of blow it off? I'm like, man, if it was me and I already heard like 2-3 stories about Larry Bird talking crap and actually backing it up, anytime he told me anything, I would be on him. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I could, I'm not sure if it would make a difference, but I would definitely be trying just that much harder.
All in the basketball, and Larry was kind of standing. I was right behind him, like denying him the ball, and they called a timeout. And he turned around and looked at me and said, "I'm gonna score right here on you." And I said, "I know you will. I'll be ready."
Tie game, 13 seconds to play. Celtics basketball.
During the timeout, I'm going through a play, and about that time, Larry steps in and says, Coach, why don't you just give me the ball and tell everybody to get out of the way? That's Larry. And when he wants the ball, he wants the ball. After the timeout, we walked back on the court, and then Xavier was guarding him. So he tells Xavier, he says, I'm getting the ball.
And Larry said, I'm going to get it right here, Ed. I'm going to shoot it in your face.
2 people.
He hit it and looked at me, and he was like, damn, I didn't mean to leave nothing on the clock. Shot right in my face. I just looked back, and the ball just went in, hit all net. And he said, I told you so. And, he was like, I didn't mean to leave 2 seconds on the clock. He wanted to shoot it with 0 seconds on the clock. I walked back to the sideline. Like, damn.
Yeah, for real.
A lot of people don't know this. You probably know this.
Oh,
but Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. And a lot of people say, really? They thought it was Reggie or Charles. Larry Bird talked more trash on the basketball court than anybody I've ever played against.
Yeah.
And he told me 2 things one game. Our rotations, double teaming Kevin McHale always had to rotate to the corner, and Larry Bird was the one shooting it. So
Let's
he
go.
shot one, and I'm trying to block this shot, and he would just tell me, Scott, you're a little too late. A little too late. So we playing them in the last play. He says to James Worthy, he said, you guys don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go right over there that corner. He said, they're going to set a screen for me. We're taking the ball out. He said, I'm going to curl right over. And he's telling us to play.
You see that too? That kind of guarding these days, man. If people were guarding these days like that, like let's just say LeBron, he'd be falling all over, being like, "Oh, he hurt me." I swear, it's insane. I miss the old school basketball. When again, I didn't watch basketball back in these times, but even at the Michael Jordan era, is kind of when I really was watching basketball, and yeah, it just wasn't. It was more rough. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, let's keep it pushing.
He's telling us to play before they even take it out. He said, I'm going to go right over to that corner, and I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to tie the game or win the game, whatever the case may be. They take the ball out, and I think it was either Danny or
DJ,
the late, great DJ.
Yeah. Let's
take
go.
the ball out, the man curl right to the corner, caught the shot, shot a three, game over.
Yeah.
Like, are you effing kidding me? That's my Larry Bird story.
A ton of them.
Shake his hand. I'm going to work him playing against the Boston Celtics in the Boston Garden. And go shake. And Larry put both hands behind his back. He wouldn't shake my hand. I said, okay, he's just getting into the game. First play of the game, he said, you don't even belong in the league, Holmes. He shoots a three. Now, I wasn't mad that he made the three. But I said, there's some bitch just called me Holmes. and he came down and did it again, so I'm pissed, you know.
Yeah.
So next time down, see me on the breakneck pitch, and I jump up and I throw it down on him. I mean, he fouls me. And he said, hey, Rook, I like you. You got heart. He said, I like you. You got heart. But I'm still getting 30 on you tonight. So, but I'm still getting 30 on your ass. I mean, that's who he was.
That's who he
Didn't
was,
Bird
for sure.
shoot left-handed for an entire game against Portland?
It was the entire game? I knew he would shoot left-handed occasionally for different reasons, you know what I'm saying? But for a whole game, Larry Bird's on a different level. Period, point blank. Different level.
Larry told all of us and the media, he said, tomorrow night's the last game of the trip. I'm going to play this one left-handed.
I remember because I was there, and it was at a time when, McHale was still coming off the bench, and so he scored the first 8 points of the game left-handed, and Jerome Kersey was guarding him at the time, and I remember this because we had a great trash-talking team. I mean, we had ML Carr, we had McHale, we had Bird, we had Ainsworth, Yacker. I mean, we had guys with great creativity with that, and I'll never forget it. McHale yells out, "Hey Jerome, wait till you start shooting right-handed."
For real.
I mean, but like you're talking about one of the great, obviously great players, great competitors. But Bird was a great artist too.
For real.
Who's got Larry?
Like I'm gonna be real. There's not much people like. Again, Jordan, killing it. You know what I'm saying? To be 100% honest, I want to see. You know what? I think they were on the Dream Team. That's the Dream Team. We got to do some more reactions of the Dream Team, the Olympic team.
Stories.
Brad Daugherty told me this story when he was second year in the league, and they were in the playoffs against the Celtics. Down one, Larry Bird catches the ball in the deep corner, and he steps back for a three. And before he takes the three, he's like, oh, wow, he's going for the win. He's not going for the tie.
Larry Bird catches the ball in the corner. Can I take off running out at Larry?
He don't go for the tie. He's not here to tie. He's here to win. That's the difference, I feel like, between a lot of players these days and a lot of players after Larry Bird. It's the fact of people aren't really playing as hard to win. And that's just what I see with Larry Bird, period.
Bird. And right when he's getting ready to shoot, I jump.
And he head fakes him.
And as I go by, him, he tells me, he says, fly, Bird.
And as he head fakes him, now it's 3-2, he hits him on the butt with the ball, and then he shoots it at the buzzer. And the confidence that hit him on the butt as he flew by him trying to block a shot.
And I go right by him, he shoots the ball, it's nothing but nylon.
Yeah.
I remember the time when Larry got on the roll, started shooting the ball. Every shot was going in.
Goodbye, she's gone.
I guess the two-pointer was too close.
When he runs by the bench, he goes, "That's a heat check. Just see how hot I am." He runs by Frank Layden, who's the funniest guy in the league, and Frank is coaching, and Larry says to him, "Hey, Frank, don't you have anybody on that bench that can guard me?" I said, "Nobody out here can." Frank looked down at the bench and goes, "No."
You know you're good then. Like, come on.
Beyond an acute awareness of his own commercial potential, Bird waged psychological warfare at the drop of a ball.
The 84 Olympic team is playing an exhibition game against a bunch of pros, including Larry Bird, and they were in the warm-ups. And a ball bounced down from the college end of the court to the pro end. And Michael Jordan went down to chase it. The ball happened to be picked up by Larry Bird. And Michael went up a few feet away from Larry Bird and held out his hands. And Bird took the ball and fired it back down the court over Jordan's head, as if to say, "You're not only not getting this ball, I don't give a damn who you are." Larry Bird knows exactly who this guy is and what's going to happen in the next few years. And he wants to get every edge he can get right now.
Yep.
But Bird didn't talk trash to you,
Oh
did
my God, Bird talked trash to
he?
everybody.
But didn't he? Did he get to a point where he had respect for you?
I always tell this story about Larry Bird. I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, "Larry, what's going on with you?" He says, "You guys are being disrespectful to me." And I says, "What are you talking about?" He says, "You guys are putting a white guy on me." That's disrespectful.
Wait, who's the white guy you put on him?
I can't remember who it was. I just started laughing. I had no comeback. When he says, "It's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me."
Here he was out there with a quarter of black guys out there talking trash with him, and the rest of the fellas are sitting there going, "Hey, the boy bad. What can you say?"
Exactly. The boy is bad. What can you say? What can you do? You know what I'm saying? Oh.
I remember we were playing Washington in Washington one night, and Larry just hit what would have been the game-winning shot, but KC called timeout.
It won't count. It does not count. Washington called a timeout.
Larry came back to the bench, and he was a little upset.
He looks at the bench and says, "Hey guys, when I come back after timeout, I'm going to go right to the same spot, and I'm going to kick it in."
He told Washington, "I'm going to get the ball."
2 seconds left. The Bullets by 1. Aims to Bird. He gets a good shot in the Celtics winner.
This is something. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. He can tell you every single shot, every single spot he's going to be in the whole game. And somehow, no one can touch him. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Incredible. And Bird wins it at the buzzer.
How many people you know would talk to the other team like this and say, "I'm going to stick it in your face"?
In last year's playoffs, Person was out to make Bird eat his words while adding a few choice comments of his own.
Sorry, I'm going to try to fix this audio, but it's super hard with the editing equipment I have now. But I'm going to try. I know this is pretty loud.
I might touch the ball. My very first game. He said, "Shoot the ball, rookie. Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it." I said, "Okay, I'll shoot it." Wow, like that, and it went in. And I said, "Don't ever tell me to shoot the ball. I shoot it every time." And from then on, it's been a battle from the last 6 years.
Chuck Person, he definitely has his reputation. During the playoffs, he just went AWOL.
Chuck and Larry down low, greeting one another once again. Bird, he has caught fire. Person. And had something to say afterwards. And look at Bird.
Merry effing Christmas. Oh, man.
Person didn't dare look at him.
Yeah, it is a little special because I've known Chuck for a while, and we've always had run-ins, but it always seems like I get the last word.
And I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
I did.
If you did and you would like to help the channel out, please hit that like button to show your support. Feel free to subscribe if you enjoy these types of videos. There will be a lot of videos coming.
Okay. I will have to say that, yeah, if you're messing with this video, I was. So I'm gonna make sure that I do my part. I'm gonna hit that subscribe button and hit that like button on his channel, and make sure you give credit when credit's due. Now, this was dope. Travis, I'm messing with these. They are a little bit long. Oh, that was not supposed to be on him. Let's see if we can get it on Larry Bird. No, I guess it's just not us getting Larry Bird. What? It definitely says Larry Bird should be right. There we go. Okay. Now, Travis, like I said, what's happening? Oh no. Oh no. Well, apparently this does not want to work for me today. To freeze framing on Larry Bird, so it is what it is. Either way, Travis, I gotta say thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, these are pretty long, but I think that it's worth it. I'm learning tons, and about now, I've learned quite a bit about Larry Bird just because of y'all. So I gotta say thank you. It's just over and over and over again proven how good Larry Bird is. It's insane. It's insane. It would be, I really just would love to have been actually playing against him to actually feel what other people had to go through, because it was probably pretty intense. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Anyways, I'm messing with this. I appreciate every single one of y'all that's actually making it to the end. I really do. I can't stress that out enough. So if you're making it this far, please make sure you're hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and hitting that comment button, letting me know your favorite Larry Bird game and what else you want to see me react to. If you're already doing that and making it this far, then I gotta say thank you. I really appreciate every single one of y'all. Please don't forget about my music. I got that song out every single Friday of 2021. Again, links right underneath the like button if you want to check that out. Also, I got that P.O. box. We're going to start doing unboxing reactions. So if you want to be part of those videos, the address is in the description. With all that being said, you know I'll be back at it with another reaction tomorrow.